Hey everyone, welcome to Chris Ryan Fitness. I have an absolutely fantastic, abtastic 15-minute abdominal class for us here today. We're going to be getting on after those abs in the best way possible. Not a long time, but certainly going to be a good time for those abs. And we're going to be getting on after it with a quick little warm-up. So get that smile on your face, everybody. Let's get ready to crush it. It'll be body weight only as well. So just have a yoga mat, ab mat, whatever you want to have on the ground for comfort. Let's go right down on the ground for the rest of our workout series right here, everybody. So we're going to warm up down in a cat-cow style position. So the knees are on the ground, toes pointing away from your body, palms on the ground, and then just go ahead and push hard through those palms. Round your back as much as you can. Tighten up your abdominals. Pull your tailbone in towards your face and your nose and eyes down and in towards your tailbone. So you tighten up those abs, driving those ribs to the hips, pushing hard through those palms. And then let's go ahead and relax. Arch your back. Tailbone goes up to the sky. Eyes go out in front of you. So you're arching through that spine. Let's go through that movement one more time of each position. Little cat position, rounded back. Palms facing down to the ground. Pushing, pushing, pushing. Abs tighten on up. And let's go ahead and arch your back. And tailbone goes up to the sky for 2 and 1. Great work right there, everybody. Now what I want you to do is you're going to come over onto your backside. Flip that pancake on over. So you're going to come over on your backside. You're going to go into what's called the dead bug position. So your head's going to rest on the ground. And you're going to have your knees up over your hips. So the femur is directly perpendicular over the top side of the hips. Toes pulled back towards your face. And your head's going to rest on the ground. Your palms are going to be facing out towards your knees. And your fingertips are going to be reaching up towards the sky. Here's all I want you to do. Inhale through your nose. Exhale out through your nose. Easy nasal breathing. But reaching the fingertips up as high as you can. When you reach higher with the arms, you notice the ribs are going to slide down and in towards those hips. And what I want you to think about now is pulling the belly button down to the tailbone. So when you pull the belly button down to the tailbone, you're going to compress the lower third of your back, the lower lumbar spine right here. That's going to help tighten up those abdominals, right? So the tighter the abs, the more compression you should have in that lower back. So you shouldn't have a C curve in that lower back where you can put your hand clear underneath, right? You want to think tight abs, ribs going into the hips, activating those upper abs and the obliques, and then pulling down and in with that femur and that belly button down to that tailbone at a slight angle to work open those lower abdominals. Great work right there, everybody. All right, let's rock and roll. Toe touch, bent knee position. We go. SC Prissy Jetta. Love it. Let's do it. So you're going to take that left hand on the ground, left leg straight out in front of you, right hand behind your head. Head starts on the ground. Reach up, touch that toe as far as you can right out in front of you. Kick that leg up nice and high. Keep that leg locked, toes flexed in towards your shin and knee the whole way through, and then lengthening through the fingers as far away from the toes until they connect. So you want to think long and strong, but using your abs, specifically sliding your left rib or your right rib towards your left hip, and then your left hip towards your right rib. Back and forth you go, reaching and stretching all the way on home. Excellent, excellent work, Casey. Come on, getting it done here today. All the way on up and down. Right there. A few more reps before we switch up those legs. In 3, in 2, and 1. Great job, everybody. Let's switch it up. So you go ahead and stay right where you're at. I'm just going to pivot up through that angle. So now that right leg's going to go straight. Left hand reaches up behind your head. And you're going to go straight on up over the top side of that toe, reaching and stretching up as high as you can. Once again, using your core to pull yourself up. You're not trying to throw your hand up and touch that toe spastically, right? You want to think muscling on up with the abdominal cavity as much as possible, down and in, lengthening all the way through. The lengthening portion will help build that extra tension all the way. And make sure that you come up with the arm and leg at the same time. So you're not trying to kick up that leg and then just reach up with that arm, right? Or you're not trying to reach up that arm and then throw that leg. You want to think, come on up relatively at the same time. So that way, you know you're contracting the core muscles. After all, this is an abs class. Here we go for 2 and 1. Might as well activate those abs in the abs class, right? Excellent work. Oblique crunch with a little scoop. Come over on your right side right now. So the right forearm is going to be on the ground, right fist super tight. And then the knees, ankles, and hips stacked on top. What I want you to do right here, pop the hips up off the ground, squeeze that low side oblique, scoop the undercarriage with that left hand as far behind you, and look to that left hand. So you're looking to the back of the room, activating that core. And then pop it straight on up over the top side of your shoulder, and then rinse and repeat. Bring the hip down to the ground, Pop the hip up off the ground, scoop underneath. So you're rolling through, nearly turning your chest parallel to the ground, and then you're going to pop straight on up. So you want to feel that curl up and underneath, right? So as you scoop, that's going to activate that oblique, reaching all the way up behind you. And then you're going to twist topside. Oh, yeah. That's feeling good, right? Down. One more for the win. Pop it up. Scoop underneath, everybody. Oh, amazing. And then pop it straight on up for one, and rinse and repeat on that left side. So what we're going to do right here, nice tight fist on that left side. Same rules apply. Knees, ankles, and hips all stacked on top. Power punch through that left forearm. So you're going to pop the hips up and then scoop underneath, looking to the back of the room, and then popping straight on up, top side, reaching on up with that right hand as much as you can. Left hip touches the ground for a split second. Punch on through. Scoop, 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 far as you can underneath. And then rotate high, right up over the top side as much as you can. Down, scoop, elevate those hips high as you can, reaching and stretching all the way on through. Come on, lay up those obliques, twisting through that abdominal cavity as much as you can. Rocking and rolling to Six Pack City here today, everybody. Down, scooping, popping all the way through. Last rep, best rep. For 3, 2, and 1. Excellent job right there, everybody. Butterfly crunch will reach, alternating right side, left side. So here's what you're going to do. Soles of those feet right together. Pull the heels in towards your groin. Knees up towards the ceiling. So you're going to have those hands reaching up towards the sky. So you're going to go butterfly crunch up, and then you're going to reach up just at that top position with that left hand a little bit more, and then that right hand a little bit more. And then you're going to come back on into it on the ground. So hands go behind your head. Head rests on the ground for a split second. Chin in towards your chest. Crunch up. Reach. Activate that core. Hold those arms right above your shoulders. Now reach up a little higher with that right arm. And then reach up a little higher with that left arm. And then right back to the ground we go. So abs under tension the whole time. Reaching. Stretching. Oh, yeah. Getting those gains in that core here today. Love it. Reaching higher. Activating. Sliding that rib down to that hip. A little bit more. Last rep. Best rep, my friends, for 2 and 1. Great job right there. Bent knee, hollow body position. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to have those knees on up. Remember that dead bug that we did in that warm-up series? All I want you to do from that position is just pull those ribs down and in towards the hips, lumbar spine fully flat on the ground, but just push those knees a little further out in front. So your femur is in a slight extended position, so your knees slightly in front of your hip. Notice the further you are away from the center of your mass, the more tension gets built up. But also at the same time, you have that tendency to relax that lumbar spine. You want to push that lumbar spine into the ground and keep that tension in that core. We only went out in front of our abdominals a few inches with that femur. But oh yeah, that felt good. That increased that tension. Just hold that position. Hands reaching up to the sky, right above your shoulders. But those knees just a smidge more out in front. There we go. Keep pressing through. Those lower abdominals. Hold that position. 2, 1. Oh, amazing work. Reverse crunch. Knee tuck time. Okay, gift that keeps on giving, everybody. Hit it on through. So you're going to go right on in, extend, and in. Reaching, and extend, and in. Oh, yeah. Love it. Come on. Arms straight as possible the whole way through. Chin is towards your chest. Eyes are forward. Slow, controlled contractions win the race here today, my friends. Back and forth. If that's too much, you can go into the modified version where the hands are on the ground and just working in those lower abdominals mostly, where the heels kiss the ground, going down slow, and then up strong, contracting up. But also the main goal, keeping that tension in those abdominals as you go down slow. You should not really relax in that back where that lumbar spine disengages from the ground, right? We should not be able to put our hand underneath. We want to think abs tight the whole way through. So as I come down, my hand cannot go underneath because my abs remain tight and press down on my lower back. Great work, everybody. Flip that pancake on over. Low plank reaches now. So you're going to go into a low plank position. Forearms strong through the ground. Feet just about hip width apart. Eyes down towards the ground. Now you're going to reach out with that left arm without rotating the core or the torso in any way. Shoulders and hips remain square. Back into center. Reach out that right arm. Hold for a couple seconds. And then back on in.
Now, if that's too much, hold that low plank in the tightest formation possible, tucking the tailbone up and underneath those hips and pushing hard through those forearms. If you can, though, reach, hold, and then back on in. Reach, hold, alternating those arms right back on in. Chin tucked in towards your chest. Eyes remain down towards the ground. Abs tight, butt tight, smiles big and beautiful and sweaty. Reaching and stretching all the way on out, everybody. Less than 10 seconds to go. Come on, Delane. There we go, Jenna. Awesome, awesome work, Casey, for 2 and 1. Great job on those low planks, everybody. Bent knee, hollow rock time. So back over that bent knee position. This time what you're going to do, you're going to have the knee slightly bent just out in front of you. Hands reaching up just out behind you, and you're just going to go up and down in a nice little tight hollow rock formation, right? So up and down, back and forth. But notice the ribs are curling into the hips the whole way through. The lumbar spine fully flat on the ground. Now, if that is too much with that extended position, go ahead and do the knees over the hips, hands on up, and just gentle rocks like this. Back and forth. There we go. All the way through. Back and forth. But as you rock, you want to make sure that lumbar spine, once again, we got to get it drilled in our heads, that we are going to keep those abs nice and tight, right? We do not want to relax and pull the ribs far apart. We're going to pull and condense on in the whole time. So the ribs are pushing down and in towards the hips. Lumbar spine fully flat on the ground throughout all these movements on our back. For 2, 1. Back to that low plank position, everybody. Hip dip time we go. So low plank. Now your eyes remain down towards the ground, right? Back to that low plank position. Squeeze through that left side. So now you're turning the hips, but keeping your shoulders square to the ground. Back on into center. Turn those hips. Keep the shoulders square to the ground to that right side. Back and forth. 2-second hold on either side, and then right back on into center. Eyes remain down towards the ground. Tailbone tucked up and underneath those hips the whole way through. Squeezing those ribs down and into the hips down and into the ribs the whole way through. Activating your obliques as much as you can. Turning your tailbone down and in towards the ground the whole way through, but concentrating on the lower half of your abdominal cavity, right? Just that slight turn, adding that extra tension into that core all the way on home. For 3, 4, 2, and 1. Great job on those low planks, everybody. Static press with scissor kicks. So now you're going to come over on your backside, 2 tight fists, punching straight on up towards the sky. Head can rest on the ground on this one. Abs nice and tight. Toes flex back toward your face. Scissor kick, cross style. Left over right, right over left you go. Pressing the knuckles up towards the ceiling as high as you can is going to help pull the ribs to the hips, and then take those feet wide apart and then crisscross one over another every single rep. Alternating those reps, left over right, right over left. You go. Head resting on the ground the whole way through. Crisscross, left, right, right, left. Oh, yeah. Love it, everybody. Come on. Light on up. The best way. 15 more seconds just for you here today. Getting it done. Come on. Pressing the knuckles to the sky. Right there. Right now. 3. Come on. 4, 2. And last rep. 1. Finish up that pairing. And let's get on after our final set of reverse crunches, everybody. So we're going to go on after it. Palms facing up towards the sky. You're going to go on in, touch those knees to the elbows, squeeze through. Oh, that's feeling good. Reach the fingertips up. Spread those fingers as wide apart as possible. Toes stay flexed back towards your shins and knees. Knees touching those elbows at the top side. Head rested on the ground. Slow, controlled contractions the whole way through. Once again, where you're not spastically moving back and forth, trying to get 1,000 reps in, we want to think max tension in that abdominal cavity as much as you can. Make every rep count. Down, slow, compressing our lower third of our back, down on the ground the whole way through. In it to win it here today, everybody. Come on. 3, 4, 2, and last rep, best rep, 1. Rest it on up. Absolutely fantastic workout here today, everybody. You came, you saw, you conquered that one. Great job. Popping it on up. Let's get you stretched right on out. So set up those feet nice and wide. Toes turning out about 30 degrees. Palms up to the sky. Pull your thumbs out behind you as far as you can right there.
Now I want you to separate those ribs. Everything we were talking about earlier, I want to pull those ribs as far apart as possible, and those abs nice and long all the way. Lean up, out, and back. Push your hips forward so you start feeling a stretch through the hip flexors as much as possible as well. Pull your thumbs right up behind you. Inhale through your nose, little exhale through your mouth. Now roll those shoulders forward, walk those hands down to the ground, chin in towards your chest, eyes to the back of the room. Of course, everybody, this one was great. The workout before this one was great, and the cardio and strength, you made that one too. And also, what's going to be more great, that 5:30 class, arms and more ab fun coming your way, intermediate level here today, 5:30 East Coast time. If you can make it, please check it on out, RSVP, and get on after it, everybody. We're going to be getting it done here. And also, tomorrow, we have a nice early bird special, 6:15 a.m. East Coast time, and then we have some of those mid-morning East Coast time slots as well thereafter in that 10-ish time frame, 10 East Coast time, and then a little class right after that one as well. So hopefully you can make those lives. If you can't, get on after the first Saturday live class as well. It'll be 8 a.m. East Coast time, a 45-minute cardio and strength. Get you strong, powerful, and sweaty, and get your weekend off on the right start. Great work here today, everybody. See you next time on Chris Ryan Fitness.